Mr. President, it's great to see you again. Thank you for doing this.
Now look at this dumbass. Look at this dumb fuck, okay?
So that was one hell of a speech you gave Thursday night. I'm going to touch on three specific areas there. The first one being, I noticed the look of surprise on your face when you walked into the chamber and you saw Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was priceless. You feigned shock at seeing her. But during your response to her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look, when I spoke about the difference between Trump and me, one of the things I talked about on the border was that the way he talks about vermin, the way he talks about these people polluting the blood. I talked about what I'm not going to do, what I won't do. I'm not going to treat any of these people with disrespect. Look, they built the country. The reason our economy is growing. We have to control the border and more orderly flow, but I don't share his view at all.
So you regret using that word?
Yes.
What was it like for you to see Republicans not cheer your tough words for Vladimir Putin or for defending democracy or any of the other things Republicans used to stand for?
Well, I think some of them still do stand for it, but they're pretty much intimidated by Trump right now. I mean, the idea that, look, I'm talking to you, I'm down here talking to these folks who are starting businesses, getting endorsed by minority businesses. He's up with Marjorie Taylor Greene in North Georgia. Yesterday, he spends the time at his mansion at his resort with Orban. He talks about his great respect for, the president of North Korea. I mean, he praises Putin. I mean, it's a different world.
Dangerous hot take that might make chat go insane. Everyone is brainwashed into believing. Wait, oh, come on. He had a good take. Everyone is brainwashed into believing and swearing Palestine is 100% just. But how many people are actually looking at the Israeli perspective? It's great, man. We have looked at the Israeli perspective. Any moment that I don't actually show the Israeli perspective, for the record, is literally a moment because I want to preserve the opinion that, like, Israel as an institution is not entirely comprised of psychopathic, bloodthirsty fascists. Okay? Just so you know. Because the Israeli perspective is all gas, no brakes. Keep going, keep going, keep going. It's really funny that you just said that when we literally just listened to Benjamin Netanyahu talk about the Israeli perspective. We just watched him. He said they're barbarians and we have to defeat them at all costs. People are not brainwashed into believing that Palestine is 100% just. People can make up their own minds on Palestinian justifications by seeing the asymmetry of violence. That's it. I also unbanned you, so if you have another take, you can maybe try and deliver it here. But just so you know. There is no world in which Israel's ethnic cleansing campaign is just. There is no world in which an apartheid state is just. You will never be able to convince me that an apartheid state is actually just and is totally morally permissible. Okay? It is antithetical to everything I believe in. It is antithetical to my values. It is insane. In my opinion. I got banned for free speech. No, you didn't, you dumb fuck. You're unbanned. You literally are only able to write this because I unbanned you. So you can keep saying dumb shit if you would like. Immediately, these fucking delusional clowns jump to, oh, wow, you're hurting my feelings. I just simply wanted to defend the genocide heirs and their framework for a brief moment. Why did you do that? I'm being incredibly charitable, allowing you to fucking operate in here after you already, like, tried to run defense for a genocidal apartheid state. You are not a fucking martyr. Stop missing the point. Instead of crying about being banned potentially and saying, duh, go ahead, explain what you want to say about the Israeli perspective. Take advantage of the opportunity you have been given. Take advantage of the much larger platform that you currently have in this moment. They were banned because it's an account created on March 4th and has been following since March 9th, and most likely is a sock account that is just in here for shit stirring. That's the reason why they got clapped fast. I would like, and also because they were defending ethnic cleansing. Okay.
Was that a mistake on Trump's part to host Orban? I mean, he is a member of NATO.
He's a member of NATO, but he says he doesn't believe in democracy. I mean, look, the guys I host, the people I'm with, are people who, in fact, in NATO have great respect for one another. And look, when you have a president who, in the midst of the carnage going on as a consequence of Russian attack on Ukraine, and talks about, come in, Putin, if these guys haven't paid their dues, you just do what you need in NATO. I mean,
yeah, the people he has on, like Giorgia Meloni, are definitely not fascist, even though they say they are. You know? But, you know, that doesn't really matter, I guess.
He talked about getting out of NATO. I mean, it's critical to our national defense. We made a commitment after World War II to never happen again. Look what he's doing. He's dangerous.
You were caught on a hot mic after your State of the Union address talking to Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Senator Michael Bennet saying, quote, I told him, Bibi, and don't repeat this, but you and I are going to have a come to Jesus meeting. What do you mean by that? What I meant was, it's an expression used in the southern part of my state, meaning a serious meeting. And it was, I've known Bibi for 50 years, and he knew what I meant by it. So what's the come to Jesus part? Like, what tough love are you going to give to the prime minister? What's happening is he has a right to defend Israel, a right to continue to pursue Hamas, but he must pay more attention to the innocent lives being lost as a consequence of the actions taken. He's hurting, in my view.
So nothing different. Got it. Okay. Nothing different at all. Got it. Sick.
He's hurting Israel more than helping Israel by making the rest of the world, it's contrary to what Israel stands for. And I think it's a big mistake. So I want to see a ceasefire. And I'm starting with a major exchange of prisoners for a 6-week period. We're going into Ramadan. It should be nothing happening, and we should build off of that ceasefire. And look, I've spoken with the majority of the Arab leaders from Saudi Arabia to Egypt to Jordan. They're all prepared to fully recognize Israel and begin to rebuild the region. And that's the focus. What comes after Gaza? What's next? It's a tough decision, but there's a lot that can be done. On the ceasefire, it is Saturday. The holy month of Ramadan starts on Monday. Is it possible that a ceasefire deal could be reached in time for Ramadan to start? My CIA director in that region right this minute still talking about it. I think it's always possible. I never give up on that. What is your red line with Prime Minister Netanyahu? Do you have a red line? For instance, would invasion of Rafah, which you have urged him not to do, would that be a red line? It is a red line, but I'm never going to leave Israel. The defense of Israel is still critical. So there's no red line. I'm going to cut off all weapons so they don't have the Iron Dome to protect them. They don't have. But there's red lines that if he crosses, and he cannot have 30,000 more Palestinians dead as a consequence of going out.
I don't think he's honest about this. I'll say it. I'll believe it when I see it. Wait, what? You don't think the Israeli institution is wholly evil? Doesn't this unintentionally whitewash them a bit or portray them as capable of redemption? Because in my opinion, it's just like America's rotten to the core and has no gone way past the point of redemption and must be dissolved and only a peaceful Palestine then be created. I think you agree with, at least for Palestine. No, I've misunderstood you. I think the Israeli state is a fascist one, and that the current one state that is happening in Israel must be dissolved into a singular state. Yeah, Yeah, he can't do 30,000 more dead people. He's like, you know, once you hit that 59,000, it's over. Sure, fair, but you may want to take a look at what is about to happen. The public does not know yet, which is by design. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean what is about to happen? The public does not know yet, which is by design. Wait, what? I don't get it. CIA. Okay, dude. Thanks.
If there's other ways to deal with the trauma caused by Hamas. It's like look, the first time I went over, I sat with them and I sat with the war cabinet. I said, look, don't make the mistake America made. America made a mistake. We went after bin Laden until we got him, but we shouldn't have gone into Ukraine. I mean, we shouldn't have gone into the whole thing in Iraq and Afghanistan. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. It just caused more problems than it raised, than it cured.
Who actually wants a deal? Do you think Hamas actually wants a ceasefire?
Well, I think Hamas would like a total ceasefire across the board because they would see they have a better chance to survive and maybe.
This, by the way, is also another really damning part of this interview I saw where he's like, yeah, Hamas wants a ceasefire because like this way they'll survive. Is like, okay. Stop saying rewind, dude. Yes, the U.S. invaded Ukraine. Oh, got it. Like, shut up. It's fine. Like, don't be like that. He has plenty of fucking flubs already. I did hear the Marjorie Taylor Greene take as well. Yes.
Maybe rebuild, but that's not what I think. The vast majority of people think you have to look. After what happened in World War II and the carpet bombing that took place, what happened was we ended up in a situation where we changed the rules of the game, what constitutes legitimate rules of war, and they should be abided by.
Some have suggested you should go back to Israel and address the Knesset, the Israeli parliament.
He's like, go back to Israel, damn it. Yeah, me. I've suggested it. Go back to your country. Listen, Jack, if you love Israel so much, why don't you go back there and marry it? That's what some have suggested.
Is that something you would do?
Yes.
Would that have to be at the invitation of the Prime Minister, or could that be at the invitation of the President?
I'd rather not discuss it more.
Does that mean that has been discussed, the possibility of going back to Israel and addressing the Knesset?
Wait, why'd you say it then?
Okay. Let's talk about the temporary pier that you announced during your State of the Union address to get supplies into Gaza. It's going to take 60 days to get that constructed. What more are you doing in the absence of cooperation from Netanyahu and a bill from Congress to get supplies into Gaza, more humanitarian aid into Gaza? Everything we can. We're pressuring Israel to open up access in the north from Israel. We're also doing airdrops. I know several people were killed with the airdrop. There's a way to avoid that in the future. We're working with our Arab friends to figure out how much we can get in. Everything, look, it's a desperate situation. Food, medicine.
Why?
Everything needed. They're badly needed.
Why is it a desperate situation? Who made the desperate situation? How did we arrive at such a desperate situation? How? Why is it so desperate? Who's doing the desperate situation? Someone should put an end to this desperate situation. Is it a natural disaster? Is that what happened? Was it like an earthquake? What's going on? Does anyone have an answer to this? I don't. I only listen to Joe Biden. So I feel like, damn, sure sucks that like the Palestinians were a victim to a massive earthquake or something. Seems weird. Okay, well, thanks for answering. Think then I misheard or something because you said you intentionally don't show parts of their narrative because you want to keep it believed that they're not all like that, which even if it's technically true is harm to highlight. Okay, stop. I still show the Israeli narrative. Okay, calm the fuck down. Anyway, wait, Evan Hill had a take. Evan Hill had a breaking story.
You're heading to Michigan, where on the campaign trail, probably in the next few days, where more than 100,000 people voted uncommitted in the primary to protest your handling of the situation in Gaza. Some have said they will never vote for you. One told Charles Blow of the New York Times, and I'm quoting, as bad as Mr. Trump's rhetoric was and him putting a travel ban on 5 Muslim countries, he wasn't overseeing and actively arming a genocide. Those are tough words. What's your response to that widely shared sentiment?
It's not widely shared. You guys make judgments you're not capable of making. That's not what all those people said. What they said was they're very upset, and I don't blame them for being upset. There's families there. There are people who are dying. They want something done about it. And they're saying, Joe, do something, do something. But the idea that they all think is genocide is just not, that's a different situation. Look.
No, I think a big chunk do actually. Some might agree with the genocide. That's the wildest part about American politics is that, like, yeah, the majority of Americans do believe that what Israel is doing is genocide, except some of them agree with the genocide. That's the only part of that is like forgotten. But everyone does agree that it's a genocide. A lot of people do.
I can fully understand. Can't you? You have a family member there. Families that come from a family that is still isolated there and may be victimized. It's understandable they feel that way.
If we're talking
and that's
about
why I'm doing
uncommitted
everything
vote,
I can to try to stop it.
100% think no, it's a genocide, by the way. Is he delusional or in denial? Why not both?